Eduardo, welcome to World Food Day.
It's an honor to be here. Thank you so much, Jeremy.
Eduardo, I want you to tell us a little bit about your journey to where you are today.
Sure. I am originally from Brazil, but I have lived and worked. My career has taken me to Europe, the UK, Holland, and more recently I've spent the past 10 years in Asia, both in Singapore and in Vietnam. My background is in fast-moving consumer goods companies. So I spent 18 years out of my 22 years of career in big companies, and most of that in food companies, so in two big food companies, PepsiCo and Danone.
Can I ask, what's concerning you most in relation to the issue of food? Particularly, I guess, concerning, the manifestation of a more peaceful and sustainable world.
I think today we are focusing a lot on how to feed billions of people. But the truth is, it's not just about more food. To me, it's about better nutrition, right? We talk a lot about climate change, soil degradation, loss of crop diversity, which are really huge issues. But I think one issue that we don't talk enough is about the quality of the food that we're eating, right? It's not only about the quantity of the food that we're eating, but also the quality of the food that we're eating. It's about the fact that we are producing calories very efficiently, but nutrients very poorly, actually, right? And I think so I'm coming from a point of view of health. And here I'm also putting part of the responsibility on the consumer's hands, right? The industry has its fair share of, they have to do better, but consumers also want to consume healthier foods. And health has been there since the start of my journey, has been the inspiration for what I'm doing today.
So what's the issue? Why is food becoming unhealthier?
I'm coming from the point of view, the point of food fortification, which today 90% of food fortification is done with protein isolates and concentrates. And while the protein content is very high, those are ultra processed foods. And when you ultra process food, you lose a lot of its food matrix, right? You deprive a lot of its original nutrients. And this is something I believe we need to fight, because I'm calling it about more efficiency of nourishment, not only about necessarily quality of food, but efficiency of nourishment. I believe that the industry can and must do better.
Okay, let's talk about what you're doing now, because it's pretty incredible.
So I have created Koa. Koa is the very first high protein chocolate brand from Asia. So that's kind of what I've been working on the B2C side. I launched it in Singapore. I'm a food tech startup based in Singapore, and I've used Singapore as my launch market. I launched almost exactly a year ago. And so far have been getting quite a lot of good feedback, and also feedback to help me improve the product. And it's not only the first high protein chocolate brand from Asia, it's one of the first in the world, but it's the world's first chocolate that is fortified with a fermented protein source. I've just told you about the fact that our protein, like a lot of the protein fortification, is coming from ultra processed protein powders. And this is where Koa is also doing something differently. We are the first brand that is actually fortifying with a fermented protein source, which is a whole food protein source as opposed to ultra fermented. And the fermentation also bring a lot of extra benefits of adding bioactive compounds like postbiotics, paraprobiotics. And lastly, also what the fermentation does is to improve the bioavailability of the protein. And for those of you who don't know, bioavailability is the way that our bodies absorb and digest the protein.
So how can we find out more about Koa?
Well, you can always go to our socials. Our website is all eatcoa.com, or in our Instagram is eatcoa. You can hear a little bit more about the journey that I, as a solo founder, have gone through to create the brand, and the journey that I'm now on to scale the brand and hopefully expand it very, very soon.
So listen, before we go, I'm really interested. You had an incredible career with some of the biggest companies in the world, and what ignited this desire to create Koa? I mean, where's it all coming from? This passion?
Yeah. I can tell you the story starts roughly, I'd say 25 years ago at 4 a.m. And I remember being very sad and frustrated, not because it was 4 a.m. in the morning, but because I was driving my father to his dialysis session. My father had to go through dialysis for a good part of his later years because of kidney failures. And it was very painful for me to see him going through that process until he passed. And that deprived him of a lot of healthy years. Because I saw him going through that process, I think that subconsciously developed in me what I like to call this healthy obsession for health and wellness. And again, through my career working in big companies, I learned a lot about what to eat and what not to eat. And when the opportunity knocked on my door to start my own business, I said, okay, I just want to help people live not only longer, but also healthier lives, right? The whole concept of health span versus lifespan, which today is an issue, right? People are living longer, but not healthier lives. The best way to change people's behaviors is to improve simple daily pleasures. And chocolate is a simple daily pleasure. It's the biggest snacking category, right? It's a category the penetration is very, very high. And chocolate was originally consumed as a healthful, nutritious food by the Aztecs and the Mayans, right? Even when it made its way to Europe first, at some point it was even prescribed as a medical ailment by doctors. We made chocolate bad for you. So that's why I'm on the journey to reimagine chocolate's healthful origins with a bit of a modern twist. Because today, if I say high protein, you get it. I don't have to spend too much time explaining that to you. So that's been my inspiration behind the business.
Well, I bet your dad will be very proud. Eduardo, that's wonderful. What an amazing way to start a journey, which of course will have impact for so many. We wish you the very best. It's great to get to know you. Good luck with everything you're doing.
Thank you so much, Jeremy. Pleasure to speak to you.